This YouTube show is about two brothers from regional Australia, an accountant and a trader. Together, they have developed groundbreaking trading indicators under the moniker AlphanumetriX. Watch each week as they manage a $50,000 portfolio and battle against the S&P 500.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of the AlphanumetriX YouTube show. I didn't think I'd get you in a show this week, to be honest. It's way later in the afternoon than I would have liked to have shot, but you know, you have to do what you have to do when the charts are looking like they are right now and when Bitcoin's on the move. Just a bit of housekeeping. I want to say big congratulations to this fella up here, my partner in crime in AlphanumetriX, for running a half marathon today in I think it was about 1 hour and 30 something minutes. Blistered it, great run, fantastic. So I might even put a little clip in here of him crossing the finishing line. It's terrific to see one of us can still run. So here we go, straight into the Bitcoin charts. Now that I've cut, here we go. Smooth. Alright, starting on the 3-day time frame as we always like to. There is nothing to add to this really from last week. It looks fantastic. It's exactly where we wanted it. Get out, load back up in the green wave, come up here. Last week when we did the show, the price was at 44,000. That night or that morning, depending on where you are in the world, we had that pop where we wanted to be. Throughout the next week, we came down and retested exactly on a combination of the 50 exponential moving average and the 7 exponential moving average. If I was looking to add more to this position, that's exactly where I would have wanted to add more, and I think that's why it had a response off that, because it's such an obvious, it's textbook pullback breakout, previous highs here of the the W or the descending whatever pattern you call it, but the breakout was imminent. Bang, broke out, came back down and retested exactly back on that point, and now we're back off. AlphanumetriX called it perfectly, but any pattern trader would have called that perfectly as well. So that's, it's one of those things that's where if enough people believe it, what's the terminology they use where you can manifest destiny or something like that, where you can if enough people believe it, it can become real, and that's exactly like a perfect example right here. As we go to the lower time frames, I'll point out how AlphanumetriX looks sensational at this exact point of origin where the buy came in. So that's probably enough here on the 3-day time frame right now. Everything looks great. I really think that we will close this candle, which will close tomorrow morning, probably up above 47. I think we'll get back here, and I'll show you that later on when we get to the weekly time frame. So going on to the daily right now. The daily was terrific for AlphanumetriX here. As we came back in, you got a chance to buy back inside the green wave, which is just a tremendously good time to buy and add to a position if you miss these chances here. So I mean, this is a really, forget the bullish and bearish chop zone for a second, just think of it in general. When you got the breakout to come back to retest and enter inside the green wave for another move up here. The other thing about the daily time frame, which was massively present for us throughout the week, and where every man and his dog was looking at who follows Vays or the sequential system, was that we did get a double 9. So on sequential, obviously I'm not going to go through sequential, it's pretty straightforward here. The 1 to 9 sequence here came in, the second 1 to 9. It was highly likely that on this candle, specifically this candle here, we were waiting for the pullback to come in. It did. We got the 1 to 4 candle correction. I think tomorrow morning, without a doubt, we'll get an open above here, which is at 45,500, which will create a green 1 candle, followed by a green 2, and onwards and upwards as we break through these 47 and head up higher. That's my speculative position of what I believe is going to happen, and really clearly by tomorrow morning. Let's drop down the time frames to the 4-hour time frame, and we'll have a look how AlphanumetriX looked on the 4-hour time frame. Alright, we're on the 4-hour time frame now. You'll notice that I've turned off the bullish and bearish signals. I don't use the bullish and bearish signals on the 4-hour or lower time frames. I use it more like this, how I'm going to explain it now. The perfect signal that you want to buy on Bitcoin or any of your assets on the 4-hour time frame as a swing trader is the green diamond, like it is right here inside the green wave. Notice the difference here between green diamonds in a red wave. They are to be ignored as a swing trader, because while the wave is red, there is no end to how low we can go, and this is purely not as an investor, as a swing trader. This is the difference of the different way of using AlphanumetriX. On the lower time frame, 4 hours, looking for a green diamond inside a green wave. The second best signal is just simply inside the green wave. While the wave is green, and where you start accumulating Bitcoin, okay? When we come up and you see a red diamond like that, you might sell some of the position, okay? As we crash back down and get a green diamond again, that's a time to add more to the position, and onwards and upwards. Now, this is not inside the green wave, so it is a weaker signal for me than a green diamond inside a green wave, or just purely, had we have crashed down inside the green wave, would have been a stronger signal for me. But it's still a valid signal all the same, and worth paying attention to. So 4-hour looked really sensational. As a swing trader, I used to be a big swing trader, and I'm not really at all anymore. I try not to swing trade. I try to get into positions using AlphanumetriX on the 3-day, weekly, daily time frame, and stay in trades as long as possible. But I used to be a big 4-hour swing trader for many years, and this would have been just a bread and butter trade, buying off the green diamond to the green diamond trim, and then when we came down and had like this kind of crossing thing, I probably would have got out of it at 20%. That's a 20% gain, would have re-entered here and onwards and upwards. But I don't trade like that anymore, but I encourage you to investigate it if you're using AlphanumetriX. Okay, jumping over to the weekly time frame now. I've turned the bullish bearish signals back on. This looks brilliant to me. I can't tell you how excited I am about the posture of Bitcoin right now. The fact that we had the breakout, we came back and retested on the 30 exponential here on the weekly time frame. All of the moving averages are starting to move up. I think in 17 hours when we close this candle, we'll close as a green candle. That arcs back to what I was saying before on the daily time frame. I think we're going to close this as a green candle. It makes no real difference either way. I see next week as being positive. But even if you look at MRI, Tone Vays' MRI for a moment, I see this green 3 weekly candle definitely coming in as a green 3, and then a green 4 to follow that. Very positive structure. As I mentioned last week, we're going to have stairs as we go up, and there'll definitely be some serious times coming, but I feel really confident here. I think that with a good move up next week, with a real good move up next week, we could actually even see a bullish cross on the weekly time frame coming in, which would just be really exciting. I'm just going to go over now and finish off on the monthly time frame. Not something we typically look at here, because it especially with Bitcoin, because by the time you see something worth looking at, it can often be too late on the monthly time frame. But just before I turn the MRI off, you'll notice that this month is currently a green 1 candle, which is a good start there alone. But what I'm more interested in is in AlphanumetriX, that we were able to close the candle, on March's candle above, just above the 7 exponential moving average. Go back and have a look at the times when we've been above and below it, and what that has meant for the significance of that. I don't want to go through it too much because it's quite obvious, but by being below that 7 exponential and then being above it, you can see there is a difference, definitely a difference. And needless to say, we just closed above it, so I'm foreseeing that as a really positive step in the right direction. All right, and finally, I haven't spoken about my position yet. Just turning on float now. the indicator that we have here at AlphanumetriX, you'll see that I am in 31% profit, almost $23,000 profit from an entry at 40,187, 2x leverage. The capital in the trade is $147,000, 3.5 Bitcoin, and I'm currently in half of Bitcoin's unrealized profit from this blue line here. Terrific trade. I'm not looking at selling that at all. When we came down here, I wasn't thinking about trimming or selling or any of that. I'm really happy with that. In the spot trade I'm in, I have sold nothing as well. I got in at 39. So, yep, very, very happy with the trades that we're in, and looking for further upside in the coming weeks. Alright guys, short and sharp today. That's how we like it. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. I've been just blown away by the response I've had since coming back. Last week we had a lot of views and I was really, really happy. I'm so excited to be back bringing you shows, and I'm going to do my best to keep bringing them week by week. If you have any questions, absolutely reach out to me. Put some comments in if you want, and I'm happy to answer those as well. I might even start looking at some of your altcoins if you want to put requests in. I'm happy to have a look at how they look. On AlphanumetriX, they look sensational, most of them. When they kick off, they get some real rip, and it comes into its own. So I'm happy to, if you put your request in the bottom there, I'm happy to have a look at them in next week's show. Other than that, alphanumetrics.com for more information. Thanks again. Congratulations to my brother for a great run. See you next week, guys. Signing off, Matt McGregor. Thank you.